This Albion Online video is just 2 weeks of flipping a single set of gear. Now, normally when I flip items on the market, I use a different character than my Swole Benji character. This is because there are third-party programs where people can see the names of the buyers and sellers through the API. I don't know how it works. I'm not a cheater or a hacker or a smart programmer guy, but I do use alt characters for all my flipping, and also I use alt characters that have premium active so that I can avoid paying taxes. But I just want to show you the profits that you can make flipping a single set of gear. It's pretty good, and it's free silver, all right? Channel members have had this info for ages, and if you are smart or you are good or you are consistent or have a lot of money, then you don't need to flip a single set of gear. You can flip 10 sets of gear. 100 different builds of gear. Anytime a YouTuber, Twitch streamer, anybody popularizes a build guide, a build video, you see a build video popping off on some channel or whatever, you should be flipping those items, alright? But that's not what I'm doing. I'm just flipping items that I would personally use or want to use in a full loot zone. So let me go ahead and just kind of scroll through my marketplace items here, and you can see the prices here. Now, I don't have everything listed. Like, some of this is potion materials because I craft potions. I did not factor that into my calculations, so there we go. And this is just one town out of several, and I'm going to talk about that as well. So let me share with you the math now. I'm just going to scroll through this. This lists what I paid for it. So, for instance, let me show you how to read this. This 4.3 Caerleon cape, I bought it for 78,000 silver. It is worth 155,000 silver, so technically if I were to sell it back to the market, which could take anywhere from another 1 to 4 weeks on average, now not the Bridge Watch cape, but just items in general take 1 to 4 weeks, and that's about how much you can expect, right? So, in this regard, just for buying it on the cheap, and if I resold it, yes, I would have to pay taxes, so the profit number is not exact, it would be slightly less, you know, and having premium helps, you know, not have to pay as much taxes, and relisting fees are literally nothing. You don't have to worry about relisting fees. So that means that just for opening the market and clicking some buttons, I earned 77,000 silver, and for those that have never market flipped before, that is about how much silver you would make without premium if you found a 4.3 mob with a full stack, alright? So it's pretty good. But anyway, we're just going to scroll through, and you can see we got a bunch of stuff here. Alright, and you can see, like, some items have a big profit, like this Flamewalker Staff, 369k, not bad. Some of these not so much. You know, these Cowls of Purity, only 60k each. Royal Sandals, 100k, 80k on the Crypt Candle. Yeah, some of these are small, but look at this, 5.2 Face Scale Robe. I paid 500k for it, it's worth almost $1 million. That is a profit of 482,000. That is, guys, that's 30 minutes of gathering in a blue zone. 30 minutes of gathering just for clicking a few buttons on a market. It's stupidly good. It's ridiculously good, alright? So, there you go. And so here's the numbers. Now, I used an AI. I used an AI to do the math. So these numbers could be slightly off or wrong, but I feel like it's correct, okay? So I spent 2.968 million silver. You can round this up. You can say I spent 3 million silver if you want. The items are worth 5 million silver. You can round that down if you want. That means just for clicking some buttons and letting 2 weeks pass by, the market did what it does. You know, people are buying and selling on it. And I generated 2 million silver for something that took not even a minute to do. Not even a minute, okay? Just to put all these buy orders into the market, it cost me, what, 3 million silver? Well, that's, you know, that's 3 hours of gathering. And then I earned 2 million on top of that. So I get my money back, and then I earned 2 million. So I essentially earned 2 hours worth of gathering profits for something that takes a few minutes, alright? Now, here's the thing. Here's the kicker. I didn't just do this in Bridgewatch. I did it in all of the towns. So we have Martlock, that's 2, Thetford 3, Fort Sterling 4, Limhurst 5, Caerleon 6, alright? And then a Smuggler's Hideout, that's 7, and then Brazilian, that is 8. So you're going to multiply that by 8. So that is 16 million silver for what, I actually timed how long it took me to go to each town and set all these up. I put on a Mr. Beast video, and 15 minutes into the video, I was done. So that means on average, and some of the towns, I generated way more profit. And I'll show you that as well. Way more profit, okay? But you won't always get such massive flips like I did. And again, this was just one set of gear. Imagine if I did 2 sets of gear, 4 sets of gear, 16 sets of gear. All right? So again, if I did 10 sets of gear and I made 16 million silver in 15 it's 16 million silver in 15 minutes. That is 1 million silver a minute generated, okay? But look at some of these deals. Here in Caerleon, I bought this 4.3 face scale robe for 1,000 silver. And again, it's worth 500,000. So that's that's a lot of profit. That's a whole lot of profit. The script candle, I paid 5,000 for it. It's worth 113,000, okay? Again, this Calipurity, 11k. It's worth 88k. This one I paid 1,700 silver for. Look at it, 106k. So yeah, and you know, here's a 6-1 face scale robe. This thing's worth 1.16 million. I paid 10% of that price, okay? So yeah, I'm just doing a single piece of gear. I'm just doing a single set of gear. The Flamewalker Staff Gank set, which channel members have known about for a little while now. I'm going to be coming out with some more PvP vids. But anyway, so if I can make 60 million silver in 15 minutes worth of time, oh, now it does take over the course of 2 weeks. You know, people aren't buying and selling immediately, right? Over the course of 2 weeks, okay? If I did 2 sets, that would be 32 million, and maybe take me 20, 25, 30 minutes. The thing is, once you have it set up, you can just redo the buy order. So the way it works, I don't have any to like show you, but whenever you get a mail, like, well, this is a sell order. This says I sold the torch that I found in a dungeon, whatever, right? So anytime you get an alert that's like, hey, in Brazilian, you bought an Adept's face scale robe for 100k or something. So what you would do is whenever you get that mail and you're not doing anything else, you just go over to the market. And then you can see here, like, yeah, I paid like 400k, it's worth 500k. So again, the profit margins really depend on your city. Some make more, some make less, right? But like these Flamewalker staffs worth, I paid 254k. They're worth 600k, so I'm getting like triple my money back, kind of, sort of. So what happens, like in this case, let's say face scale robe, okay, you know, 4.3. Well, it looks like I don't have one listed, right? Because yeah, I don't have one listed. Oh wait, no, that's normal. Okay, yeah, I do have one listed there. So anyway, what I'm getting at is that whenever I get an alert that says I bought this in Brazilian, I just go to Brazilian and put a new listing up. That's all I gotta do. Now, over the course of 2 weeks as well, you do have to eventually go to towns, and you can do this once a week. You can do this once a day. It really depends. But like, let's go here and let's see if I don't have the winning buy order on these items. So it looks like I am paying the most for those, but I know this one I wasn't. See, look, they jacked up the price by 1 silver. So you'll see that it's going to cost me 10,000 silver to be overcut these guys by a single silver. And again, I'm making 100k off this, so if I do this 10 times, I then break even, okay? But if you do this for a lot of items, yeah, some items will break even and you won't make a profit. But again, 10,000 silver setup fee, there we go, right? I paid 10,000 silver so that next time someone quick sells this to the market, I get the item and again, I profit. So now, my profit margin on this item will only be 90k instead of 100k. And again, if you barely touch the market, you're good. But I'm going to tell you right now, like, Flamewalker staffs and face scale robes are actually terrible examples of an item flip. And that's why this is a public video and not a members only video. Because these items, they have such low volume of sales because they are, well, for one, the dorsal wings are really hard to get and people don't just craft these willy-nilly. A lot of people don't even wear cloth in PvP zones. If you wear a very basic set of gear and armor, especially at higher tiers, I'm doing like 4.3 cheap stuff. If you do the more expensive stuff, a lot more of those are churning through the market. So one of the most popular PvP builds that just people run in the Black Zone is like a battle axe build. So if you are market flipping battle axes, the margins may not be as high, but you're gonna churn through a whole lot more sales. A lot more people are gonna be buying what you're listing, and a whole lot of people are going to also be selling to you if you are the highest bid order. So on an item like that, it would make sense to go to the market once a day and make sure you're overcutting everyone else on your buy order. Whereas for the face scale robe and the Flamewalker staff, touch it up maybe once a week. That way you're not paying too much in fees. But at the same time, like I said, you don't have to. It's not all about just buying stuff cheap and reselling it. It's also about using the stuff. For instance, I can slap on this armor, this crypt candle, this cape, the helmet, the weapon, the boots. I got boots here somewhere. The mount. Yeah, there's the boots. So I got a full set of gear. I can go right now and go murder people in the mists with that gear set. And because I'm using it to PvP with and make profit through PvP, I'm paying significantly less than if I just went to the market right now and tried to buy it. So, let's check Flamewalker prices. So right now, the cheapest Flamewalker would be this 4.3 outstanding for 638,000. That's quite a lot, right? And I could probably find it a little bit cheaper in a Royal and then pay the transport fee to get it to Brazilian so I can go to the Mists. But I could just, put in a buy order, and then days later, boom, I just got one way cheaper here. It's just as strong. There's another one way cheaper. There's another one way cheaper as well. You can see that just by being slightly patient, and not being in a mad rush to get your PvP gear, you can save money on PvP. And I have a PvP guide coming out in a few days that's going to explain all of this in greater detail. If you didn't catch it in this video, you can definitely go check out that full PvP guide video that, again, I got it coming out. I have it strategically coming out to match when all the shills are going to be attacking this game on June 27th. So, yeah. Hopefully, you learned a little bit something about market flipping. And, yes, you do need silver to get started with it. But, as you can see, if I just did this to Bridgewatch and nowhere else, I earned 2 hours of gathering in minutes. Okay? But because I earned 16 million silver in minutes, technically, over the course of 2 weeks, that is 16 hours of gathering that I banked. Now, and again, the more sets you do, the more items you do, the more commodities you do, the more that money goes up. All right? But at some point, you have to determine, like on my other characters, not Swole Benji, but on my actual flipping characters, I am spending hours a day just opening the market and just doing adjustments. And yeah, I'm earning hundreds of millions of silver, daily from doing it. Hundreds of millions. And you can do it too. It's really easy. Oh, this is a little kill try. Oh yeah, I punched a guy to death with a cheap set. That was funny. But yeah. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. All one take. I hope you learned something. Let me know I read every comment, so let me know in the comments if you have any confusion or you don't understand how I worded it, or if you need additional help. I'll read it. I'll help you out. We got to make money, guys. You got to start making more money. Everyone I talk to is broke as hell. They're sitting there in solo dungeons. I don't know what you guys are doing, but you're not gathering and you're not flipping, so you're going to be broke forever if you don't change your ways now. Anyway, that's all I got, and one other little rant, just a quick little rant. I'm sick of these, literal Who YouTubers that show up and they make, a cooking guide video. And then you watch the video and there's, no actual math being done. They're just like, hey, to level up cooking, you have different cooking nodes. And they'll be like, here's the butcher. Go butcher animals at the butcher station and that'll level it up and you'll make money. No, you won't. You never make money butchering. You want to know why you never make money butchering? At least on the West server. And that is because people use alt characters with 30,000 focus to do the butchering for them, which normalizes the price for everyone that also does it. Which means, even at maximum chef levels, you will never profit with butchering, unless there's just a gap in the market on that special day or whatever. But you wouldn't know this if you didn't do it. And in these videos, they're not even max level chefs anyway. It's like they open their Destiny board and they're still leveling it. It's like, well, how do you know what's profitable and what's not? You haven't even started your journey yet. Anyway, that's all I got. Click the video on the right side of your screen. And if you don't, you're going to go to the gas station for a soda run. And then all the sodas are going to be out of order. So you're going to go to another gas station across town. Those machines will be broken down. And then the third one you visit will finally work. But that's 3 visits too many. You could have just clicked the video instead, and then it won't be broken.